stay in
Gen
marriage.
Z.
Yeah.
We do not
The
have
millennials
that
and the Gen Zs.
patience. We do not have it. We
Millennials
just
and
want.
Gen
I
Z.
can't. I'm out 6 months out into the marriage. What happened? He
Because
he's dominating. He was talking to me anyhow. You understand?
Yeah.
So
mental
nobody wants
health
to
very
stay.
important.
We didn't
Very,
get
very.
that teaching. You know, our parents didn't marry for love because they didn't get to. There was no fun.
Like it's actually true. Some people, some families tend to like join two people together. We'll just be together. You're going to marry this person. You're going to marry my friends, and but like me, I don't agree with that. Anyways,
You know what? You know what? You know why I
there are
said
people that fell in love with each other and married each other.
Genuine.
Yeah,
Yes, I
in the olden
understand.
days,
No,
not
it was genuine.
exactly. It was
Yes, that love was genuine, but then they didn't have that luxury of time. You know, this is our generation. In a month, you know how many times you see your partner? They do not have that. They didn't have that luxury. So it is
Genuine or
during
not,
that
that's not.
vibe, that culture.
oh, my father loves me, my mother loves me, and
They just can't be together.
As the Biscon Latino show, BOS anniversary, it's time to blow our own trumpet. 25 years. The Biscon Latino show, BOS, which is the longest-running general interest magazine program on television in Nigeria, has covered and broadcasted events of social, economic, corporate, political, and entertainment archive of iconic events, parade the coverage of convocations of universities, coronations of traditional rulers, inaugurations of state governors in Nigeria, the inaugurations of Nigerian presidents, and President Barack Obama of the United States of America. 2010 World Cup in South Africa, covered by the ubiquitous Bisi Olatilo Show, BOS. BOS was also at the inauguration of the Alake of Egbaland 16 years ago, Oba of Benin 8 years ago, Oni of Ife, Ulu. The BOS archives is replete with very exciting pan and beyond Nigerian super coverages. As for the festivals like Calabar Carnival, Ujude Oba Festival of the Ijebus, Lishabi Festival of the Egbas of Ogun State, and others, the Biscon Latino show BOS simply is the toast of all. The corporate concerns, the banks, telecommunication companies, and other business concerns have made BOS their prime choice over the years. The newspapers, state governments would rather the almighty Biscon Latino show give the coverage of their awards our inimitable packaging as exemplified by what we have in the awesome BOS archives. The Biscon Latino show, BOS, is the preferred choice of state governments in the propagation and publicity of their programs to their different constituents in different states, because the Biscon Latino show is the #1program they've all been watching religiously in the last 25 years. In fact, the Biscon Latino show, BOS, commissioned to provide a comprehensive nationwide campaign program for President Goodluck Jonathan, President Muhammadu Buhari, and President Bola Tinubu, which took the BOS team around the country campaigning for votes for the candidates at the time. The Olatilo Show, BOS, was also involved in rigorous campaign for Governor Duoye Diri of Bayelsa State, Senator Hope Uzodinma of Imo State, and Governor Gboyega Oyetola of Osun State. Incidentally, these were all clients of BOS from the two different political parties, APC and PDP. Also, in the very rich archives of BOS, with events that span over 25 years, is the one where BOS paid an everlasting honor to immortalize Nigeria's First Lady of all times, Mrs. Stella Obasanjo, who died 19 years ago. The Biscon Tv show, BOS, the first and the best, still remains on the very top of our game. On Wednesday, June 26, 2024, JNSSI Genaisi High School in Ogba, Lagos, proudly hosted renowned broadcaster and polyglot Prince Bisi Olatilo for its 2024 Literary Day celebration. The vision to establish JNSSI Genaisi School was divinely revealed to Pastor Mrs. Bukola Oladiyan, the esteemed wife of Apostle Wole Oladiyan, General Overseer of Christ's Living Spring Apostolic Ministry, CLAM. This vision aims to create a world-class Christian educational institution dedicated to nurturing children with sound morals, impeccable character, and integrity, fostering transformational leadership rooted in the scripture of Psalm 144:12. The event commenced with an opening prayer by Mr. Olawale, followed by the national anthem. The school choir then delivered a moving ministration, setting a reverent tone for the day.
Glory to the Father, you deserve the praise. Lead me to your heart, Lord, show me my sin. Glory to the Father, you deserve the praise. Lead me to your altar, Lord, show me my sin.
Yeah, I just send them kneeling down to be home with my son. They don't get it. I can get anything if I already want. You don't get it. I always feel back on my bank, keep how it's meant. Take my God to stop and reading.
Emphasizing the significance of Literary Day and
the essence of this literary day that at a time in our life we were in the secondary school. And what we have become today were actually shaped by the things and activities that our teachers and school leaders introduced us to. The things that they made us to participate in were the things that have shaped our, also introduce them to platforms that will benefit their future. Some of the things you are doing today you may not understand. They asked you to do debate. Remember this just last week we had a debate competition, inter-school debate competition here. And today we are glad to have the winners of that competition in the house to receive their trophy, which will be presented by our special guest. It is part of the literary culture, debate, quiz competition, media, journalism. I am not sure that there is any
adding a musical highlight to the celebration.
Journey to national and international limelight in broadcasting and the media world began in 1979 as the External Service of the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, FRCN. At the Voice of Nigeria, I read the news and presented programs with the likes of John Momo, as you all know, now of Channels Television, Manny Onumon and Patrick Doyle, before moving up to Radio Nigeria, where I read the news from 1981 to 2009. I don't think anybody read it as long as that. When my ex and newspapers must refrain from using their platforms to tarnish the image of other people and establishments. In the same way, practitioners that serve as operatives in these establishments must avoid being used to disseminate information not properly verified. The long-standing mantra for all practitioners in the media space is to check and check and check the source of the information very properly, and if in doubt, at the end of it all, leave out.
The event proceeded with the presentation of Secondary School emerging as the winners. The ceremony concluded with a vote of thanks by Sidi Akuma, a presentation of a gift to the special guest, closing prayers, and the departure of attendees. The 2024 Literary Day at JNSSI Genaisi High School was a memorable celebration of education, culture, and inspirational leadership.
Here is the breaking news of the moment. Biscon TV, the most exciting 24-hour general interest television station, parading cutting-edge programs in news, sports, politics, business, foreign news, fashion and style, entertainment and lifestyle programs, Biscon movies and more, has been moved to channel 144 on GoTV. Our programs begin daily with Biscon Breakfast Bubble (BBB), featuring newspaper review and interviews on trending issues. Biscon Roundtable is our daily discussion program on essential tips on life and living. Biscon TV broadcasts news 7 times daily from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. 'Country now on GoTV channel 144 and live streaming on Biscon TV on YouTube. Biscon TV live streaming on YouTube is the fastest growing, most watched 24-hour live streaming channel on YouTube. Remember, Biscon TV has been moved from channel 108 to channel 144 on GoTV. Biscon TV. Interactive, engaging, and unconventional.
Hello, welcome to Biscon Television News. I am Gloria Anozie Young. First, the headlines. On the national scene, NLC tells President Tinubu to invite leaders of planned protest and address citizens' grievances. House of Reps vow to complete deceased members' projects. Business. Petroleum Minister, NMDPRA, others meet Dangote, cured, sets to campaign in Wisconsin. Sports. CAF shifts inter-club competitions registration deadline to Thursday. And now the news in full. The Nigerian Labour Congress, NLC, has called on President Bola Tinubu to invite the leaders of a planned nationwide protest over hardship in the country, asking inflation hitting 34.19%, coupled with a hike in food and electricity, Ndume asked President Tinubu to address the planned nationwide protest over economic hardship using dialogue. Ndume gave the advice on Monday ahead of the planned protest billed for August 1 across the country. In an interview with newsmen, the lawmaker who represents Borno South said talking with the organizers, who are mostly youths, would help in dousing the tension and avert the planned demonstrations. Newsmen reported last week that Ndume was removed as the Senate Chief Whip after his criticism of the President Bola Tinubu's government's handling of the nation. He was subsequently picked as the chairman of the Senate Committee on Tourism, a move the lawmaker has turned down. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Dr. Abbas Tajuddin, has assured the people of Chikun Kajuru Federal Constituency that no single project facilitated by their late member, Honorable Ekene Adams, will be diverted elsewhere. The House Speaker, who was represented by the member representing Zango Jaba Federal Constituency, Honorable Amos Gwama Magaji, made the pledge during the funeral ceremony of the late Ekene. On the foreign scene, Vice President Kamala Harris will today campaign in the state of Wisconsin for the first time as a presidential candidate after enough Democratic delegates pledged to endorse her, clearing her path to the nomination. Harris has become the party's presumed nominee after President Joe Biden withdrew from his re-election campaign on Sunday, following weeks of party acrimony and internal polls showed his support collapsing in a battle against Republican rival Donald Trump. A survey by the Associated Press said Ms. Harris had received the endorsement of more than 1,976 delegates needed to win the nomination in the first round of voting. Ms. Harris said she was proud to have secured broad support and looked forward to formally accepting the nomination. The Wisconsin trip offers another opportunity for the 59-year-old former California prosecutor to reset the Democrats' campaign and make the case that she is best positioned to beat. On the entertainment scene, Nigeria musician Charlie Boy has promised to divorce his wife of 47 years if United States Vice President Kamala Harris fails to win the upcoming presidential election. Charlie Boy, known for his unconventional statements, in a post on his social media page, expressed admiration for Harris, calling her, and I quote, my crush, and asserting that America deserves its first black female president after having its first black male president, Barack Obama. Meanwhile, delegations from at least 27 states have issued statements of their full delegations supporting Kamala Harris. The survey is an indication of the groundswell of support for Ms. Harris.
The globally acknowledged leading brand in the cutting-edge, inimitable production of groundbreaking events dating back many decades, prepares to celebrate its Silver Jubilee anniversary. It's time to blow our own trumpet resoundingly, stating the qualities that have continued to endear the BOS brand to all our fans across and beyond Nigeria, which is the longest-running general interest magazine program on television in Nigeria, has covered and broadcasted events of social, economic, corporate, political, and entertainment values every week unfailingly. With iconic events dating back many decades captured for posterity, BOS honors those living and immortalizes the dead everlastingly. The Bisi Olatilo Show, BOS, proudly boasts of being one of the broadcast outfits with the richest library of archives of past events. The Bisi Olatilo Show's awesome archive of iconic events parade the coverage of convocations of universities, coronation, and President Barack Obama of the United States of America, 2010 World Cup in South Africa, covered by the ubiquitous Bisi Olatilo Show. pan and beyond Nigerian super coverages. As for the festivals like Calabar Carnival, Ujude-Oba Festival of the Ijebus, Lishabi Festival of the Egbas of Ogun State, and others, the Bisi-Olatilo Show BOS simply is the toast of all. The corporate concerns, the banks, telecommunication companies, and other business concerns have made BOS their prime choice over the years. The newspapers, state governments would rather the almighty Bisi-Olatilo Show give the coverage of their awards our inimitable packaging as exemplified by what we have in the awesome BOS archives. The Bisi-Olatilo Show, BOS, is the preferred choice of state governments in the propagation and publicity of their programs to their different constituents in Dipshin religiously in the last 25 years. In fact, the Bisi-Olatilo Show, BOS, commissioned to provide a comprehensive nationwide campaign program for President Goodluck Jonathan, President Muhammadu Buhari, and President Bola Tinubu, which took the BOS team around the country campaigning for votes for the candidates at the time. The Bisi-Olatilo Show, BOS, was also involved in rigorous campaign for Governor Duoye Diri of Bayelsa State, Senator Hope Uzodinma of Imo State, and Governor Gboyega Oyetola of Osun State. Incidentally, these were all clients of BOS from the two different political parties, APC and PDP. Also, in the very rich archives of BOS, with events that span over 25 years, is the one where BOS paid an everlasting honor to immortalize Nigeria's First Lady of all times, Mrs. Stella Obasanjo, who died 19 years ago. The Bisi-Olatilo Show, BOS, the first and the best, still remains on the very top of our game.
Respect Africa and public presentation of the Guardian Federalist paper titled Federalism is the Answer. If federalism is the answer, what is the question? In attendance at the event were President Bola Tinubu's representative, Information and Strategy Special Advisor, Bayo Ononuga. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu was represented by the Secretary to the State Government, Bimbo Sali Hunde. Ogun State Governor was represented by his Deputy Engineer Noimot Salako Idele. Chairman of the event and former Governor of Ogun State was Chief Olusegun Oshoba. Also present was Ogbeni Rauf Aregbesola, President, African Development Bank, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, CON, who was the keynote speaker. There's also this keynote speaker, the Director General, Nigerian Institute of International Affairs, Professor Egosa Osagai. Chairman, publisher, the Guardian newspapers, Lady Alex Ibro, amongst several guests. The event started with the national anthem, after which a minute silence was observed in honor of the founder of the Guardian newspapers, late Mr. Alexander U. Ibro. In his opening remarks, the chairman of the occasion and former governor of Ogun State, Chief Olusegun Oshoba, gave a historical overview of the Guardian and expressed joy that the Guardian is living to the expectations of its founder, late Mr. Alexander Ibro. In her remarks, the publisher and Guardian,
I want to thank God. I know wherever Alex is, and I know he's in heaven because he's such a good man. When he was buried with a copy been holding a copy of the Guardian, and later people will confirm that a copy of the Guardian was by his side in the casket when. So Alex is in heaven with Guardian, and today I'm sure he is very, very proud of what I call
Newspaper Proprietors Association of Nigeria, Lady Made in Hebrew, MFR, stated among other things that the Guardian has managed to remain strong and reliable over the years through sheer intellectual excellence, balanced coverage of reports, and consistency, among others.
I'm highly anticipating the public presentation of a compendium of 61 editorials titled The Guardian, Federalist Papers. The editorial called the newspaper published on federalism from October.
The line is that respect is never a given. It cannot be purchased. It must be earned. And it is earned based not on rhetoric or request, but based on action. Concrete action, consistent action over time. As a leader, my way of making decisions is actually pretty simple. No econometric analysis going with it. I simply write down the things that make of goods in the world. Not only that, its GDP per capita towers at 266% of the global average. We must therefore find solutions to our many challenges in Africa. While we must deal with the bread and butter development issues, we must think strategically as we set ourselves upon a path of also becoming wealthy nations. Our countries must become great contributors to global wealth and development can give. That is how Africa will earn respect.
In his remarks, the chairman editorial board of the Guardian newspapers, Professor Wale Omole, commended the keynote speaker, Dr. Akiumi Adesina, for a well-thought-out lecture. He further stated that the mission of the Guardian is to know what is needed to make the country great.
For what to do for us in Nigeria, a continent like this, a publisher, and more questions, and more questions. And we talk to the policy. So, that we can go on. The 61 is the period, the number of years that we have been independent and that we are in poverty. It became the world political capital. So really, the speaker, former President also, who is in international affairs, will speak to us. I don't want to take more time. So I'm not going to look at this. It really doesn't matter. Thank you.
In a goodwill message, the Secretary to the Government of Lagos State, Sali Ohunde, who ably represented the Executive Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, expressed delight to be part of the Guardian's 40th anniversary and gave the governor's message, where he commended the Guardian for its style of reportage, which, according to him, stand it out amongst the competition.
On behalf of the government and the good people of Lagos State, I wish you a happy anniversary. Thank you. Hence, it has been aptly described as a flagship of the Nigerian press. And that is why today we celebrate its 40 years of outstanding professional, impactful, resilient journalistic practice of the Guardian newspaper. You will all agree with me that the Guardian is a household name in Nigeria and Africa. In conclusion, let me once again heartily congratulate Lady Maiden Alex Ibru for the attainment of this laudable milestone with its credibility, integrity, and model intact. We're very certain that your husband Full of Ogun State. I extend my heartfelt congratulations to the Guardian newspaper's family on its 40th anniversary. I salute the late Mr. Alex Ibru, Lady Maiden Alex Ibru, their children, and the dedicated team at the Guardian for their remarkable contribution to the media landscape. May the
Guardian, Guardian for its 40th anniversary, and I wish Guardian many more years of celebration. Thank you for listening.
A keynote review of the Guardian Federalist Papers with the theme, If Federalism is the Answer, What is the Question?, was ably presented by the host and DG, Nigerian Institute of International Affairs, Professor Ehosa Osagai.
Be a ready answer and solution to all that we want to deal with. So I thought we should go to the bag of wisdom of the famous and legendary tortoise and get what he would say. And part of the recommendations you would get from that bag of skills and wisdom will be working from the answer to the question. And that is what I think would make sense. If you work from the answer to the question, then you can say, yes, it's a solution, but what is solutions to certain kinds of problems? And that's the framework within which, I think we would want to look at the Federalist Papers from The Guardian. But let me also say that we're very delighted as the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs to be returning to a theme that we once had to consider in 1978. In 1978, the NIIA brought the whole world to this same hall and had an international conference on federalism. Now, that conference led to the publication of a 1979 classic entitled Readings on Federalism, edited by Bolaji Akinyemi, Patrick Dele Cole, and Walter Ofonakoro. Now, that was because that long ago, the world took Africa and Nigeria in particular so seriously that it believed we had things to contribute to the world of learning. Now, how be it in 2023, several years after, we no longer are considered worthy of such contributions, where people tell us about ourselves and we are hardly allowed to speak for ourselves. So I'm glad that President Adesina has made the point that we should have a reversal, and the NIA stands strongly for that summits on Africa must happen in Africa.
The event featured the presentation of and former governor of Ogun State, Chief Olusegun Oshoba, CON. Vote of thanks was given by the CEO of The Guardian, Toke Alex Ibro. Biscon Communications congratulates The Guardian newspaper on its 40th anniversary.
On Friday, May 24, 2024, the 12th edition of the annual Vanguard Personality of the Year Awards for the year 2023 was held at the prestigious Eco Hotels and Suites, Victoria Island, Lagos. The annual event, organized by Vanguard newspapers, honors distinguished Nigerians who have achieved excellence in their respective fields. The ceremony was chaired by His Excellency Mr. Donald Duke, former governor of Cross River State, and attended by an array of eminent personalities from various sectors. The chief host for the evening was Uncle Sam Amuka, chairman and founder of Vanguard newspaper. Among the dignitaries in attendance were His Excellency Babajide Sanwo-Olu, represented by Barrister Abimbola Hundeyin, Secretary to the State Government of Lagos, Senator Ademola Adeleke, Governor of Osun State, His Excellency Peter Umba, Executive Governor of Enugu State, represented by his deputy, Barrister Ifeanyi Osai, His Excellency Godwin Obaseki, Executive Governor of Edo State, represented by his deputy, Omobayo Godwins, Mrs. Betsy Obaseki, First Lady of Edo State, General Ike Unwachuku, former Minister of Foreign Affairs, Chief Olabode George, PDP chieftain and former military governor of Ondo State, Oba Dr. Alade Toyinbo Ogunlade, DG of Akure, Prince Bisi Olatilo, Chairman and CEO of Biscon Communications, Bashorun Dele Momodu, CEO of the Nigerian Football Federation, among many others. The event commenced with the Nigerian National Anthem, led by Blessing Wilson. Mr. Eze Anaba, editor of Vanguard newspaper and president of the Nigerian Guild of Editors, delivered a welcome address, providing a brief historical overview of the awards and outlining the night's agenda.
In recognizing this outstanding